At the 17th BRICS Summit, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi delivered a strong and timely message urging fellow member nations to unite in securing the supply chains for critical minerals and to ensure no country uses these resources as a weapon. China currently dominates global production and processing of rare earth minerals. Without naming any country, the Indian Prime Minister said, I'm quoting here, "We need to work together to make supply chains for critical minerals and technology secure and reliable. It is important to ensure that no country uses these resources for its own selfish gains or as a weapon against others." Prime Minister Modi's statement comes at a moment of growing concern over the strategic control of minerals such as lithium, nickel, rare earth elements. These elements are vital for electric vehicles, drones, energy storage systems, as well as advanced electronics. Now, the underlying warning is clear that without collective action, these resources could become instruments of geopolitical leverage. China, as I mentioned, dominates the global production and processing of rare earths. It has recently begun to tighten its grip. In a significant shift in strategy, Beijing introduced export restrictions on rare earth materials and the powerful magnets derived from them. The impact was immediate. Automakers in countries like India and Japan faced production cuts, while the United States, under pressure from its own manufacturing sector, was forced to soften its stance on tariffs against Chinese goods. Despite having faced a similar rare earth crisis more than a decade ago, Western governments were caught off guard once again. Over the years, many critical mineral strategies were drafted, but few were truly implemented. As a result, supply chains remain fragile and inventories low. It's been over a decade and a half since China first cut rare earth exports to Japan in 2011. The West has failed to find new suppliers. Some modest steps were taken as well. Korea expanded its stockpiles, Japan invested in Australian mines, yet most Western governments devised critical mineral strategies and then chose not to fund them. So this underlines that Prime Minister Modi's appeal is not just a diplomatic gesture, but it's a strategic call to action. His vision is one of resilience and responsibility, where no single country holds unchecked power over resources that fuel global progress. For more on the story, here's a report sent by our Assistant Editor Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibbal. Listen to this.
The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a 5-nation tour. We know that later today he will be in the Brazilian capital, Brasilia, and the focus will be the state visit. Now, when it comes to the Indian Prime Minister's focus during the 5-nation-long visit, one thing has been a constant, that is critical minerals, whether it's Argentina, where we know that there are huge deposits of critical minerals and rare earths, and this is something that India has been focusing on, and that has been the case with other countries as well. But essentially, the focus also remains on multilateralism. We know that in Rio, the Indian Prime Minister participated at the BRICS Summit, and the focus was on several things, whether it is reforming the global institutions like the United Nations, or whether it is the issue of terrorism. In fact, the BRICS statement mentioned about the Pahalgam terror attack, and BRICS is a second grouping in a matter of few weeks that has condemned the Pahalgam terror attack after the Quad grouping. The last leg of the Indian Prime Minister's visit will be Namibia, but all in all, focus also remains on Global South, given that there are 2 countries from Africa, 2 from Latin America, and 1 from the Caribbean. With video journalist Abhishek, Siddhant Sibbal for WION in New Delhi.